Dear students, in this lecture we are going to discuss zero power factor characteristic of an alternator. Zero power factor characteristic of an alternator is basically plot between terminal voltage and field current, which shows the variation of armature terminal voltage against field current, which is obtained by running the alternator at synchronous speed and maintaining the armature current at its rated value and zero power factor lagging. Zero power factor lagging means a purely inductive load is connected to the alternator. So in order to get this curve, the various steps will be like this. Step number 1, run the rotor of the alternator at synchronous speed by means of a prime mover. Step number 2, connect a purely inductive load across the armature terminal of the alternator. Now adjust the field current in order to get the rated armature current. So we will get some point, any point. Now change the load, the purely inductive load which has been connected across the armature terminals. Change that load in small steps. Then by doing this, the terminal voltage reading and armature current reading may change. So adjust again the field current, in order to get the rated armature current, and note down that particular reading of terminal voltage and field current, that adjusted field current. Again repeat the same, that is again change the load in a small step, then adjust the field current so that again we are getting the armature current at its rated value. Note down the corresponding terminal voltage and field current and you will get some other point, and repeat the same. Then you will get this characteristic ZPFC, zero power factor characteristic, as shown like this. This region from O to A, we are not getting any non-zero value of V. This is because for field current above OA, we are getting non-zero value of terminal voltage, and before that we are not getting. This is because of armature reaction drop and leakage reactance drop. That is, in other words, we can say that OA, the field current corresponding to OA, corresponds to the field current required to overcome the effect of two drops, armature reaction drop and leakage reactance drop. We will discuss it in detail later. This shows the equivalent circuit on per phase basis of the same alternator and corresponding phasor diagram. You are aware of that very well. This is terminal voltage, phasor V, and for this particular load, which is purely inductive, armature current lags the voltage phasor by 90 degree. Fine. This drop IARA is shown here as it will be in phase with IA. So IARA drop. Then the drop across this leakage reactance drop, JIA perpendicular to IA, will be this, and this is resultant EMF or air gap EMF. So this is ER, resultant EMF. Again, by adding this drop IAXAR, which will be obviously JIAXAR perpendicular to IA, will give you EF, this EF phasor. Fine. This EAR is armature reaction drop, which is nothing but minus J times IAXAR, hence the head is shown as downward. So these two phasors EF plus EAR, this phasor EF plus EAR will give you ER, or in other words EF may be written as ER minus EAR. Fine. We know that phi produced by any current I is proportional to I, and MMF F is nothing but N into I, so we may write that proportional to I. So if we will talk about main field flux phi F, that will be proportional to field current IF, and if we will talk about main field MMF, then that will be proportional to IF. We know that as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the EMF, this EF induced is lagging the flux which is producing this by 90 degree. In other words, this phi F is leading this EF by 90 degree. It means IF is leading this EF by 90 degree. It means FF is leading this EF by 90 degree, which is shown here. This is 90 degree, this red colored 90 degree. So FF is main field MMF, which is leading EF by 90 degree. This is cause, FF is cause, this MMF is cause, and this is effect lagging by 90 degree. Similarly, this FR is resultant MMF, which is leading the resultant EMF or air gap EMF by 90 degree, shown here. This is armature reaction MMF. Obviously, armature reaction MMF FAR will be in phase with IA. Fine. FF will be in phase with IF, so FAR will be in phase with IA, and the resultant of these two, FF and FAR, will give you FR. We can observe from here itself. We have already discussed that the MMF responsible to produce a particular EMF leads by 90 degree. So this MMF FAR, which is in phase with IA, will lead the EMF which is being produced by this, which is EAR. We can observe from here itself by 90 degree. So EAR is downward and this is horizontal. So this phasor is leading this phasor by 90 degree. This phasor is leading this phasor by 90 degree, and this phasor FR is leading this phasor by 90 degree. And we have discussed this relation among the EMFs, EF this, ER this, and EAR this. So corresponding MMFs may be written as, in place of EF, FF, because the corresponding MMFs are leading the EMFs by 90 degree. Hence, in place of EF we may write FF, ER FR, EAR FAR. And we have discussed the directions of the three MMFs, FF, FAR and FR. So from here we may observe that FR may be represented as phasor sum of FF plus FAR. Fine. If armature resistance is ignored, just write here, if RA is ignored, then the same phasor diagram can be shown like this. The same terminal voltage phasor V here for the purely inductive load connected across armature terminals, the current is lagging the phasor by 90 degree. So this, Now this has been ignored, this drop has been ignored. It means JIXL will be this and JIXAR will be this. Now the three phasors V, ER and EF, this V, ER and EF are lying along the same line, means in the same phase, with this assumption of RA is equal to 0. Fine. Now we are going to discuss the next one, Potier triangle, with the help of these discussions discussed so far. This is ZPFC, zero power factor characteristic, which is terminal volt against EMF and field current, and we know that field current and field MMF are proportional to each other. So in place of field current, if we are going to write MMF, that is F, capital F, then the nature of this ZPFC will be same. Fine. In previous lectures we have discussed open circuit characteristics, which shows characteristic between again EMF and field current. So similar to that, this OCC can also be plotted against EMF and MMF by replacing field with MMF, corresponding MMF. So the nature of OCC will be same as that discussed in previous lecture. Fine. Now we have marked this EF, a horizontal line corresponding to EF, which cuts OCC at end point, and a horizontal line corresponding to ER as well as terminal voltage V. Now corresponding to a particular field current, field excitation, or corresponding MMF, FF, this FF, the open circuit voltage is EF. That can be observed from OCC. Open circuit characteristic gives the open circuit voltage. Now the field excitation IF or corresponding field MMF FF and a speed remaining unchanged if a purely inductive load is connected across the armature terminals of the alternator such that rated armature current flows, then the resultant air gap MMF FR will be OP, which is lesser than FF by this PM length, that is by FR. Repeating again, earlier for a particular field excitation or field MMF, we are getting the open circuit voltage as EF from OCC as load is not connected. Fine. Load is not connected, load current is not there. So whatever EMF we are getting across this will be same as EF. Fine, that is EF. Now the field excitation IF or corresponding field MMF FF and a speed remaining unchanged, a purely inductive load is connected across the armature terminals of the alternator such that the armature current is at its rated value. Load is connected, purely inductive load is connected in such a way that the current flowing across armature through armature is at its rated value. Then this FAR will come into the picture. Why? Because now we have connected a load, hence load current is flowing, hence armature current is flowing, hence armature reaction will be there. And because of that armature reaction, this armature reaction MMF will come into the picture. In simple way, before connecting the purely inductive load in the air gap, only one MMF was there, that was FF, main field MMF, rotating at synchronous speed. Fine. After connecting this load, purely inductive load, without changing the excitation and speed, we have adjusted the load in such a way that armature current flowing is at its rated value. Then this FAR will come into the picture, and for this assumption IRA is equal to 0, we can say that the no load EMF, MMF, FF, which was alone in the air gap at no load, will be affected by this MMF, FAR. In this case, this is opposing this main field MMF. Hence, this will be the resultant MMF in the air gap, resultant of two MMFs, main field MMF and armature reaction MMF. So, this FR, difference of these two, this minus this, will be the resultant MMF. Corresponding to this resultant MMF, we are getting ER as this. This is open circuit characteristic, but here we have one more assumption that under loaded condition, OCC gives the exact relation between air gap EMF and air gap MMF, FR. So, with this assumption, we can utilize this OCC to get air gap EMF ER corresponding to this FR, which is this ER, as we have subtracted this drop, armature reaction drop corresponding to armature reaction MMF from this EF. So, we are getting ER. Now, if this drop, IAXL drop will be further subtracted from ER, then we will get V. Means from here, if we will subtract this IAXL, then we will get this point. And corresponding to this, we have horizontal line which meets this ZPFC at A point. This horizontal line meets OCC at C point, and this is perpendicular drawn from here to here, and the length is equal to IAXL. So, this way we are getting one right angle triangle ABC marked here, and this triangle is known as Potier triangle. This is Potier triangle. This perpendicular gives the dimension of IAXL. If divided by rated armature current, then we can get leakage reactance, and this gives the value of MMF corresponding to armature reaction MMF. That is, this side of this right angle triangle gives FAR, and this from this side we can get leakage reactance. So, from Potier triangle we obtain two informations, one is leakage reactance, another one is armature reaction MMF. Fine. Each point will be discussed in next lecture. Don't worry about that. Just try to understand the brief concepts under this topic, and then how to utilize these concepts to get voltage regulation will be discussed in next lecture in detail. Fine. With this assumption of RA is equal to 0 and keeping the armature current at its rated value, the size of this Potier triangle will be constant. Hence, it can be shifted parallel to itself by sliding this vertex A on ZPFC and this vertex C on OCC. Fine. This was all about ZPFC and Potier triangle. In next lecture, we will discuss the various steps for evaluating voltage regulation of an alternator using ZPFC method or Potier triangle method. Thank you very much.